Welcome back to day 132 of our chess journey to 1500 ELO and chess.com. Let's just jump on ahead and find a game. We get Mind of the Master from Canada. We'll go 1d4 and see what they end up playing. We get the England Gambit, let's just accept. And we get this variation again. We've seen this a whole lot of times by now. I guess we'll just come out and develop. So our opponent here essentially sacks a pawn. And we have to prove it wasn't bad for us, because our opponent gets some development here. It will just keep on developing normally, maybe come out with this bishop before playing this, so we don't close our own bishop down. I played this as well to cover our queen, defending it with the knight instead of not only defending it with the knight, so the king doesn't have to take if there is some stuff going down here, which might not be ideal in each and every scenario. Our opponent here is thinking. We just went up with our knight here and developed quite normally after the initial pawn sack. So we're up an e-pawn. We get pinned here. Honestly, this might be a good idea here, because if we do come up here and get this, our bishop opens up and the pawn here moves off of this diagonal, so we can get our bishop out as well. Maybe it's to something like e3. So let's in fact come up here with the pawn. If takes, we take here. And I think we should be quite happy in the following position. We would have the bishop here as well in a game without a whole lot of center pawns. So I think we could be able to utilize the bishops quite well there. The bishop slides back though, so our opponent opts not to capture. I would like to come out with the bishop here, and if this is played, well, then we have a pin. And if this is played, we drop back. And if the queen moves, we just keep on developing. Just getting the bishop out and preparing ourselves for this move. The knight's the one coming out now. Can we jump in here and apply pressure? I think it might be an option. And if the bishop moves back, we could just take the bishop and we might have a bishop pair. Defending this knight might become a bit annoying for our opponent here. If this is played, this comes with a check. There is this though, which wouldn't be ideal. So how about this? And if this is played, can we take here? And then this, and the pawns are broken apart, and we can get this, and I don't think that's all that bad. So let's jump in fact. This isn't playable because of the queen hanging. So we're slightly behind in development. We haven't gotten our light squared bishop out yet, but our opponent has gotten all of their minor pieces out. Okay, so we get this. But can't we just take, inviting this perhaps, and then slide back, and we should have some pressure against the pawn, which could be quite okay. We could take here, and this is good pressure as well. I don't quite want to lose the bishop just yet. So let's take with the knight. This can't be played because it was a check just now, and of course we want to save our bishop. So as I mentioned, we might want to come back here to keep our pressure. Was looking at this, but I don't quite love the move because we prevent ourselves from coming up here, which might just be where we would like to go with the pawn. There is this still, and this bishop here kind of controls the diagonal, but it's not necessarily all that bad. Still, this is something to be aware of here. E3 is likely to be played by us. We could just come out like this and castle. We could even look at queenside castling this game to get active. If the queen moves, that is. Our opponent's queen moves. Can we come up here perhaps? Might be an idea. Just scanning for options here. I think our opponent might be castling queenside. Let's see if this is played. Here, and we come up here. We have to be wary of discoveries against our queen, with the rook coming down like this. But still, I think e3 is probably on the agenda. Let's come out with the bishop, as we looked at. And then we'll have to move the queen before deciding to castle. We could even move the knight here, but we don't need to because the bishop moves off of the diagonal. So we should have a pretty decent endgame here, considering we're up a pawn and we have the bishop here, as well as this broken structure to play against. This is no good because of this, which we looked at. So where do we go instead? We can't come up here because of this, but we would like to keep this pawn defended. Could we come here, for example, allowing ourselves to get out with the queen this way? We can't come here because of the knight. Generally, we want to dodge the d-file. How about doing it by sliding our bishop over, like this? We don't want to take our opponent's bishop, but this might allow us to get our queen here perhaps, and we could have some flexibility in terms of castling, which might be good. Just realized there is this in fact, so if takes here and this is played, we lose our queen. So if our opponent takes, we have to take with the c-pawn. We could come up with a knight here as well, trying to remaneuver. This, nope, we don't want to lose material. Let's take with the pawn, and we have a really strong pawn center. I don't love this check. We could block it with the knight, for example, though, but then the rook takes, so maybe not. Is this forced? I wouldn't love to see it, but it might have to be played. It's definitely a good maneuver here by our opponent, and our king might be forced to stay in the center for a little while. We could have king to f1 and maneuvering our king over here. Might take a few moves, but I think we might have those moves in this position. It's just this file is open, so I don't quite want our king on the g file. So how about king to e2? This isn't playable because of our knight, but otherwise there is this pin. I think we'll be coming up here and kicking the bishop out like this, and just playing the game from there. Now this pawn here is better defended, and well, this pawn is more defended, but there is this pin, as I did mention. The knight jumps in. Somehow I thought this would be a blunder by our opponent, but it appears it's not. Because this and the queen just takes. And although we could be looking at a lot of stuff, we are not quite doing so just yet. How about pushing up here? Now we push. If this is played, we just come out here and take. And I don't see a way of forking our king and the bishop. So I think we should be good. So here, if this is played, we take. Here, and if this is played, we take. If this is played, we just take with the queen even. So we just have to calculate this. Here, this pawn hangs. But we could come here, I guess, and hit both pieces. And our opponent could jump in here with either piece, but it shouldn't be all that bad for us. So let's push this pawn, in fact. It's defended. The knight here has to move. And I think we should be in an okay spot. Still, we have to make a mental note here. This pawn is not going to be defended by this pawn or when the king and knight moves again because of this pin. So, well, what now? We need our rooks to enter the game. Would definitely be nice here. We get takes, which honestly surprises me. Why can we not just take with the king? I guess we can in fact take with the king, and I guess we'll do just that, and we'll see how our opponent responds. We could just come back here, for example. Could definitely be an idea. We'd like to come out with a queen here, get the rooks into the game, and we should have some really nice activity. What does this move do now? Honestly, I don't even know what it does. We could get checked here, I guess. Doesn't really seem all that threatening. Anyways, I wanted to play this move, so it wouldn't be all that bad. Let's say we go here. Where can our opponent's queen go? Not here. Would be lost. Not quite here either. Not here. So honestly, I don't quite see our opponent's idea here. They might just want to unpin themselves against our bishop. So we'll just develop our queen here, connect our rooks, and cover some important squares. This hits this pawn as well. Isn't important to grab it, of course. We got checked here, in fact. Honestly, I didn't quite see the check there, but if we go here, there is this, and we might just lose a pawn there, or we might not, in fact. Let's say we go here, our opponent goes here. Doesn't this just win material? We'll have to calculate this quickly. Here, there is this. Rooks are covered, this is covered, and this pawn covers this. So we have this, this. We go here. Where can the queen go? Not here. Not here. Can't go here. Not here. This is not a check, so it's not dangerous. Honestly, I think we can come back here and this should be okay. If takes, I don't see a way of preventing us from just winning material. And this pawn, or bishop rather, is hanging now. So honestly, the best move here might just be bringing it back while defending this pawn here on f6. After which, we might have queen takes, hitting the bishop. And then it's getting complicated from there. But honestly, if we come up here, the queen can infiltrate and hit our king, which might be annoying, so we'll have to consider some options perhaps. We'll just have to see. This is played. And I can't tell you guys what this move does. I don't see a way of revealing any attacks against us. So why can't we take this? There is this, yes, but we take a rook. And let's say we take this, for example. What is there for our opponent here? This bishop can't do anything at all down here. At least not as far as I can see. At least not as far as my eye can see. That's a horrible joke. But that's my kind of humor. Let's just take. I can't see a refutation here. There is no discovery, no piece that could be hit, which is more valuable than what we have here. Or then a rook. No piece could be hit. That's more valuable than a rook. Takes, takes, and there is takes. And, well, all our stuff is covered, so I'm not worried. Let's take this rook here, because this seems more passive than staying on the d file. Now we could come here, allowing ourselves to play on this diagonal and hitting the king. If this is played and we see this move, we could even come here, I guess, and if our opponent trades the queen off, we should be in a winning position. Yeah, let's just take this pawn. I can't see a good argument against it. The bishop here for our opponent can't really play the game right now. It doesn't have a good avenue through which to join the action. We'll come here. The queen is pretty much standing alone here and fighting its own little fight. And we might just bring our stuff over here, coordinate with the queen, which should be quite nice. Our opponent's queen drops back here. Okay. Now I'd like to go here, hit the queen, and we might force more stuff off the board, which should be good. Okay, so let's say we go here, for instance. First of all, there is no check here, no check here, so we can't be checked. This file is covered. Our Our opponent could go here, but I don't see a threat. The only move here, I guess, is this, which I guess it is a check. Do we have to think about it? Let's say this is played, we get checked here, and we come here, for instance. We can't get hit by the bishop. This is covered by our queen, this is covered by our queen, and this is covered on h5 by our queen, so we can't get checked. And we're looking down here at getting our pieces active and targeting our opponent's king. So I'm convinced this has to be a decent move. This, and we go here. This looks dangerous, but I think we can just pin the rook. And we should not lose our queen. Oh, or we could lose the game by playing a bit too quickly here. That's not good. Now we can't take here. Oops. Well, we do have to move our king. This isn't good. This is just a lost queen. And this hangs as well. Wow, this is just a massacre. That's a massive oversight by me, to be honest. A massive oversight. But it's a good tactical find by our opponent. We can't block with the queen. We could go here, but we would just get checked here, and this would be picked up. So honestly, this might just end the game here already in what was originally a winning position. So did we have a move here? Honestly, we might have not had a good move. The best move might have even been sacking and going here maybe. But still, that looks bad because of our lack of king safety. But now we're here. Our queen looks to be lost. I can't see a move to recover here. Would have loved to get something, but we don't. And our opponent here is probably going to take our queen. This rook. Can we do anything here? If we trade, we're just down a whole lot of material. And if we go here, this just loses. So I'm going to do something here which most of you might not agree with, but I'll actually resign, because this is going to be a lost position, most likely. So I'll go on ahead and say thanks for the game to our opponent. We'll resign, and we'll go on ahead into the analysis. I do see we had more than one blunder here, so I'm curious to have a look after the game. I'm hoping this bar on the side is not accurate, because surely there is no drawing mechanism here. Surely, right? Oh, that's it. You'll have to excuse me for a quick second while I jump on ahead onto my secondary account, because I remembered I accidentally spent my daily free review by analyzing a game I did not quite mean to analyze today. So give me 2 seconds. Now I'm logged onto my other account, started analyzing the position of our game against Mind of the Master, which honestly, this was a really nice game today, up until, well, the end. Let's try and review now. There we go. Fantastic. 67% for us and 75% for our opponent. Not my proudest moment, but we'll go through the position here and have a quick look at the moves. This is all good. We had a good position here. Definitely not bad, but this was apparently quite good because of... Honestly, I can't quite see the difference here. Why is this bad? I guess it's apparently just not good. If we were to take like this, forcing this, I genuinely can't tell here why this is that much better. Let's say, for instance, we go to h4, which is another recommended move. Is still quite good. Apparently we just... I don't know why this is best for our opponent. Let's say they went here. I guess we're just jumping around with the horses, and it's good. I'm honestly a bit surprised here. I thought this was still good, and well, it was, but not as good. The difference was quite big, in fact. Here, this was bad. Should have apparently went all the way up here. I don't quite see, or we're hitting the bishop. Okay, so we develop with tempo there, which makes sense. Instead, we went here looking to get our bishop out, and this apparently blundered the game. Let's have a look at this. Oh, because of this tactic. I didn't see it in this position. And apparently this is best here, once again, I guess, because this tactic still being possible. We both missed it. I guess I played a bit too quickly today. Tried to match our opponent's pace and didn't quite calculate enough. We went here and still we had a really good position until, well, we didn't. This is apparently much better. I can't... Honestly, I'm quite surprised today. I can't quite tell why the good moves are all that good. But as I look at this, though, I guess we get onto this diagonal, looking to check the king and maybe pick up stuff here. So this makes sense. I thought hitting the bishop was still good, as we kind of developed with tempo in a way, but I guess we block our pawn here for maybe getting this kind of a structure and forcing the bishop out. So this was played, we were forced back, and this was decisively winning for us. Until, well, it wasn't, because this was a move. Should have apparently went down here, and I don't quite see where and how this ends here, but oh, there's this, which is just crushing. So apparently this works quite well. Just didn't execute it correctly because there was this, and honestly I did not see this move at all. I didn't see it coming whatsoever. I thought this looked really good until it it didn't. This would have been the same thing, pretty much equivalent to this move, I think, and yeah. From this point on, you might argue I should have not resigned, but there is not really a way of playing for anything here. Would have been unnecessarily stretched out, and I'd much rather play a proper game here and analyze, and because we're not going to win against a bishop and a queen with our rook. So yeah, what I guess I'm trying to say is I won't be wasting your time there. So well, another, like, yeah, it's a semi-quick game today. We're at half an hour, so for those of you still left here, I guess we'll be doing one puzzle today for fun here, because quite a few of you guys seem to like it last time or enjoy the puzzle. So what do I see here? I'm looking at what appears to maybe be a quick checkmate. First move I noticed was this, which forces this move. And then the queen is pinned. I'm looking at ideas like this as well, but I don't know if we play this first or if we play it after this. Let's evaluate this first. The queen can't take, so the only move is king here. And if the king goes there, this is checkmate. So I think this has to be the move. And we go here and we get a correct puzzle. Yeah, 2 more I guess. We'll go for 3 and be quite happy there. Just going to practice some puzzles here, as you guys have been asking me to in recent days, as my tactical vision has gotten a bit poorer as of late. So first thing I'm seeing is this, hitting this and exposing the king. I see we have quite equal material, but our opponent has got 3 more pawns. What else do we have? I don't quite see a fork here. Let's see, we get this. How should the rook be saved? I think the only move is this, maybe. Do we have a good follow-up? Then I guess we have this, and this wins the game. So I think we're going here, and the queen comes out even, and what now then? Oh, this might be quite interesting. This move forces the king here, and then we pin the queen, supported by this, and we should pick up the queen there, is what I'm noticing, which appears to be correct, and we'll take and pick up the queen. One more, black to move. We have a quick mating pattern here. Is this the move? Taking away this square? Or do we go here first and force the king over? If we do, if this is played, the king goes here, it could go here still. So how do we cut it off? This is possible, and it could go here, and I think it might get out this way. I don't see a concrete way of forcing it out. How about this move? Not playing this, but this instead, because then the a pawn can't be pushed, giving the king space. If this is played, this doesn't work because of our bishop. So this is a threat. What I'm noticing here is this is annoying for us. So if we play a move like this, then this is an immediate checkmate. So we can't play a slow move, which in turn leads me to believe this is probably better, because neither move here works for setting up the checkmate. Let's go here, it is correct, and apparently we're giving chase. So what's the way of doing this? This square is annoying, I don't quite think we can cut it off. If we go here, this is going to be played. Then let's say we go here. The queen, or king rather, is forced over. But we can't quite go here necessarily, because takes and we lose our rooks, but it might still be a winning endgame. Don't quite know there. This, and the king gets in on the light squares. So our alternative here is playing a5 and then getting this. Can we ladder here? Forcing the king down. Then the only move is here. Then this, the rook covers this, the rook covers this. we might be looking at something like this and checkmating in the middle of the board. So what did I just calculate again? It was this, I think, yes, and then the king comes here. This, or never mind, was it this move? And this, yeah, I remember it was this, and we got the puzzle. There we go. 3 for 3. That's definitely good. I don't mind. Kind of balancing out the loss today in our game, which it was a winning game until it wasn't, but that's typically how it goes with chess. It's a brutal game. All it takes is one move most of the time. Well, anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for today's video. So I'll just thank our opponent once again. Thank you for watching to the end of the video as well. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your days. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.